Good day, Virgin Islanders, at home and abroad. Today is an excellent day, and I'm pleased to be joined here with our Executive Director of the EDA, Mr. Wayne Biggs, and representatives from our four major banks, Banco Popular, Banco St. Croix, First Bank, and Oriental. And why we're here today is to make sure that everybody gets a piece of the pie, a slice of the Virgin Islands. You know, when I came out of college some 30-something years ago, my first thing in coming home was trying to find a way to get a home. Now, I tried many programs, lots of times I went to HFA, I didn't qualify because of the salary, or I wasn't able to get in the program because my income wasn't right. But over the years, I struggled and figured out a way to buy a piece of land with a partially constructed home, and piece by piece, with the help of the bank, I was able to build my own home. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of people helping me tie that steel and pour that concrete, finally made it a reality for me. But I didn't stop there. I always wondered what everybody else was doing. And as I move on through my life, I noticed that less and less Virgin Islanders are really getting the opportunity to earn a home and actually have a piece of this rock. So we got our minds together, and through the hard work of not only the EDA and the banks, the Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority, and friends like Adrian Williams, we were able to put together this program. This home ownership program that we're announcing today is called VI Slice. And the whole point of this program is to establish gap financing that puts you in a home. Now, I know what you're saying. I make too much income. That's simply not true. In this program, you can make up to $242,000 in St. Thomas and $260,000 in St. John, as well as $216,000 in St. Croix. And you're saying, how is this different, and where is the EDA involved? Well, we've involved the EDA because, number one, this is a moderate income program. All the other programs that are with the Housing Finance Authority, those programs will still exist. But this program is unique because it does a couple of things. So if you are in the market for a home and you want to do a straight-up home purchase, we have a program. This is a program for you. If you want to do a rehab where you buy a home and rehabilitate it, this is a program to you. If you just want to go from greenfield, buy the land, and do the construction, we got something for you in this program as well. Even if you just want to do a conventional mortgage and do 20% down, we got this program just for you. One of the beauties of this program, though, is that we know that paying a mortgage in the Virgin Islands is no joke. So in order to accommodate that, for the first time, you can actually have a rental unit that's in your construction plans, so that when you actually buy the house, you have something to supplement the income. The other unique piece about this is, unlike the Housing Finance Authority's program, you only have to live in the Virgin Islands for 3 years to qualify. If you have moved away and let's say you were living in Atlanta, if you lived in the Virgin Islands for 10 years previously, you qualify. If you were born in the Virgin Islands, you qualify. So it's a program not only designed for workforce housing to house our teachers, our policemen, our other professionals that work in the program in our community, but also to be able to attract people from the States in order to do it. I'm going to stop right here because there's a lot more pieces of this program that work together, and we've been working with the banks for quite some time now to try to figure out, how do we get housing under control, how do we make opportunities for you, and how do we make it affordable again to get this program down. Now, if you have land or if you don't have land, this is also the program for you. But I'm going to stop for a minute and let Mr. Biggs come up here and tell you about the EDA.
Thank you, Governor. I'm really proud of this program that has been developed to help Virgin Islands get a slice of the rock, as we say, here in the territory. And I'm very happy that all the banks here in the territory are participating in this program. So let me just talk a little bit about the program. As the Governor says, the program allows for conventional purchases of the homes or renovation of homes. It also allows for construction from the ground up. Finally, we also allow piece in reference to where we can assist you with a down payment if you're purchasing a home outright yourself. Now, to be part of this program, you have to qualify for conventional mortgage, but we will provide the gap financing. So this is a gap financing program that turns into a grant after you live in that property for 10 years. So again, how the program works, you would go to the bank will qualify you for a certain amount. Let's say you were short $20,000 in your down payment. The bank will refer the package to us. We will review the package, and then we will finance that $20,000 that you're short. The bank will place a conventional mortgage on the property. We will place a soft second mortgage, and after 10 years, that mortgage will fall out. And that will work that same way in all our programs. So again, the governor gave you lots of details in reference to the properties that are there, the confines of the program, and we'll have some other information on our websites. Also, all our banking partners that are here will be able to provide you with particulars on this program. But we're ready to start, and we're excited about this program. So don't delay. Come on out, apply, and get a piece of the Virgin Islands.
Thank you, Wayne. And I want to emphasize the grant part, because that's important. He said that after 10 years, it will turn into a grant. There's no payment on that grant for the 10 years. And people say, well, why are you doing that? Well, we don't want people to take the house and sell it after we get it. We want you to live in the Virgin Islands. You have to live in that house, otherwise that grant turns into a loan. The other thing about this that's great now, any housing that we do, if you put an apartment in there, it has to be affordable rent. So you have to comply with within the affordable rent income in the Virgin Islands. So we're helping you to help somebody else. So this program not only creates more housing, it also creates more affordable housing. So you can't take your house or your apartment and turn it into an Airbnb or rent it out for $8,000 a month. That is not the purpose of this program. So we're looking for you. If you're a first-time home buyer, you're in the market, you qualify for conventional mortgage, we want to fill that gap for you. If you're just looking for land, you want to build, we got something for you as well too. All of this is to make sure that we create as much housing as possible, because I don't need to tell you, we're in a housing crunch here in the Virgin Islands. It's bad in St. Croix, but it's worse in St. Thomas, and it's absolutely deplorable in St. John. This is going to help us with the recovery as well, because we need more employees, and if we can't put them anywhere, then we can't have a recovery, and we won't have anybody coming to the Virgin Islands. So I'll stop now. I'll take some questions from the press if we have any. I think I see Susan there.
Yes, we do. Can you hear me?
Shirley, we can hear you.
Great. So this is a very interesting and convoluted kind of program, it sounds like. When, for the bankers, I guess, what kind of interest rates are you getting now on mortgage loans? And I guess they probably differ if it's a construction loan or if it's a first mortgage. Can you give us some idea of what people are looking at in the way of mortgage loans?
So it's going between 6 and 7% now, depending on your credit rating, depending on the term of the loan, and of course the risk there. But I want to make sure that you understand, it's not really convoluted. It's a gap program. So just like you were before, if you're trying to buy a house, if you're trying to build a house, if you're trying to get a piece of land and build a house, you go to the bank and you apply for the money the same way you always would. And the bank will tell you you're short, your gap is $50,000. They will refer it to the EDA, the Economic Development Authority, and they would say, you're qualified for this $50,000 grant towards buying your home, and then you go with the bank, gets a whole package, and you can get going on your construction or your purchase.
And do you have any maximum?
Maximum in terms of the home buying? The maximum is somewhere around 100 to 200,000, depending on the need. So initially, we're trying to spend no more than $100,000 in gap financing for a house, because we want to reach as many Virgin Islanders as possible. This funding is being made available through ARPA. This is one of the things that we're doing, and we're specifically targeting moderate income people who are not involved in the Housing Finance Authority program. So that's who we're targeting. All the people that were calling me all the time saying, I can't get a home, I can't move home because I can't afford a house. I live here and I'm teaching, I can't afford a home. This is a government attempt now to make sure we put you in a home.
Great. And what kind of resident, well, you said 3 years resident. What other kind of criteria are you looking at to be able to approve this?
I didn't hear that question.
You need length of employment, good credit.
Exactly. Those are parameters that the bank will establish if the loan is fundable. Because we want to make sure we're helping people who already are in the process of helping themselves. So you're going to have to take the housing finance program. It's online that teaches you about credit, lending, home ownership before you get it. So this is not for that person who just, I need a house. But we're trying to help people who actually been in the process, searching for a way, and have small gap financing that they just can't get to, that we could fill that gap and get them going with what they need to do.
Okay, thank you, Governor.
Thank you. Ernest? VI Consortium?
Hello?
Yay. I hear you.
Yes, Governor. Is this similar to the conversations you were having with the banks relative to the zero down mortgage situation in the territory?
Exactly. This is basically our counter to the zero down mortgage policy.
Okay, and so I have a few questions. Are there any situations where an applicant would not have to put anything down if they qualify in other ways?
Yeah, they have a $5,000 minimum because we want to make sure they have at least some in the game.
Okay, $5,000 minimum. And so explain to me, probably the EDA, the situation with the 10-year and it turns into a grant. Can I get a clearer explanation on that, please?
So, you want to explain that?
Yeah, I could. Good afternoon. The banks are going to be using their standard conventional underwriting to write these mortgages. So what they're going to do is they're going to place, whether it be a 30-year mortgage or a 40-year mortgage, they're going to place that lien on your home, and they'll be in the first position. As a result of whatever gap financing you receive, first position means in the event of liquidation, foreclosure, that they are first protected in that regard. So what will happen is we will place then a lien for the amount of the gap financing, what we call a soft second lien, for a period of 10 years. So as long as you're living in the house for that period of 10 years and you qualify for that, that lien will fall out and you'll only have that first lien in regard to the bank, and they'll release it when you complete the payment of their mortgage. As the governor says, in the meantime, there's no payment on the mortgage that we've placed. So it's a no payment for 10 years, and after that 10-year period, it falls out. The reason for keeping it for 10 years, as the governor has indicated, is we want to make sure that it's for Virgin Islanders who are living here and making this their home. So we want to make sure that you are here for the long haul. In the event that you don't make the 10 years, you can sell the home or you can do whatever you want, but then you're going to have to pay back a portion or the entire amount of the gap financing that we provided.
Okay, understood. And so that gap financing that has been provided by the EDA, the applicant, were they to qualify, won't have to pay interest on that gap financing, just what the bank funds?
No interest, no payments on the gap financing. You're going to only pay on the bank's mortgage. Their conventional or non-conventional mortgage that they do, that they use their standard underwriting. So if they give you a mortgage for $20,000 and you have gap financing for 10, you're only going to pay on that $20,000 mortgage. You're not going to pay anything on the 10, and after 10 years, that $10,000 will drop out.
Excellent. I have a few questions, so I'm going to try to go quickly. Governor, what amount of ARPA funding has been set aside for this program?
So far, $20 million. So we're trying to make sure that we really have an impact. And what we're trying to do is, we had a discussion with this on the bank, is we want to make sure that we are giving the lowest amount possible to each individual that is required for them to make it so that we could serve more Virgin Islanders. So you go out and you see a house, it appraises at $450,000. You go to the bank says you qualify for $380. We put up the $70,000, that's $450. And you're good to go. 10 years you live, that $70,000 is forgiven, and you just pay your mortgage as normal as if you pay on the $380,000.
Governor, when does this start?
It started. So, I mean, the banks, I want to explain this. Don't go looking for the program. Go looking to finance a project, and then we will figure out how to get you to where you need to be. So just like a conventional mortgage, you find a house, you go to the bank to finance, the bank will determine how much money you need in order to do it. So yeah, I know people are going to run out there with, I want $100,000 to go buy a house. It don't work like that. We think this is going to be extremely helpful for the veterans as well too, because they're trying to go out there and get homes as well too. This allows you to do construction loans and refinance. It does a lot of different things. So I think this is a really good space we're in here.
Governor, you spoke about a program that folks must go through before they're approved.
Right, it's a credit program that we want people to be responsible. It's at Housing Finance Authority and it's online. So you got to go through that and take it, just so that we know that you understand what credit is. It's required. Those credit programs are now required. Even when you're doing student loans for $2,500, you have to go through the credit program in order to qualify now.
And so I guess any one of the banks could answer this. Are these loans, I suppose they're conventional mortgages, but relative to the inflation we're seeing right now with the federal interest rates, what average can folks expect in monthly payments with this program?
It would depend on the price of the mortgage. I mean, it depends on the mortgage. There are hundreds of mortgage calculators online. You could Google mortgage calculator and you could figure it out in there. It even accounts for insurance and land tax.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, the home buyer program is through the Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority. I want people to make sure you don't get these mixed up. This is a separate program. We're targeting moderate income people. Even though we're using the same income limits as the Virgin Islands Housing Finance Authority. Like I said, they're at a rate now where we think it'll serve a lot more people. $260 in St. John, $242 in St. Thomas, and $216 on St. Croix. That's how much money your household can make. So if you're making $80,000 and your husband making $100,000, let me say the opposite. If you're making $80,000 and your wife making $120,000, you qualify. So check it out. Make sure, get your project together. Don't go harass the bank if you don't have a project.
One more question. How long did it take, your administration and the banks to put this together, and was it a difficult process?
This has been like a 90-day thing. We've been meeting with Housing Finance a lot and talking to them about why we're not getting more home ownership and more homes built, and they keep telling us about the problems they're having now. We announced some new programs in there as well, those coming up too. But this is for moderate income. And then listening to the cry of the public. But the banks want to give loans. They want to give loans. And this is a way to secure the bank and as well as the customers. So they're eager to lend money.
So I'm seeing 4 individuals here. So we have
Banco, Oriental, First Bank, and Bank of St. Croix.
Okay.
That doesn't mean the others aren't participating. That just means that these are the ones that we're working with and have been supportive about the program. Merchants Bank is also on board with it too, Merchants, but they weren't able to make it to the press conference today. But we just want to show the public the bank's on board, the government is on board, so if you're ready to get a home, let's go.
All right, Governor, thank you.
All right, thank you. And thank you so much for listening today. Remember, we'll have more things coming up. There's a variety of ways to buy a home, but I think this is moderate income. We want to thank the banks for participating today. They want to make mortgages. We want to work with them, and we're doing everything to build a Virgin Island. You look across here, and they're not only women, but they are Virgin Islanders. These are people in your community, mothers who have children who are on to buy homes as well, too. So we have a lot of support from the banking community, and we thank them for that, and we thank you for tuning in with us. Stay tuned. More to come. Have a great day. Love you.